And we are live.
Yeah, this is productivity and procrastination. I am James.
And I'm Joe. We're just a couple of procrastinators looking to get productive.
This is episode
24.
24. Are you sure? All right,
98% sure.
98%. Well, we're still currently working on our
Episode 25.
25. I thought it was 25. I thought we said 24 already. 25!
25!
Yeah, sorry to blow your eardrums out there.
25 for your ears.
We're still currently working on our baby project, first project. And, yeah, so that's where we're at. Let's see how we did this week. How did you do in your life, Viewerland?
Yeah,
Have you been examining your life relative to our pathetic attempts? That's what I would like to know.
Oh, looks like the portal to Hades is closed. The big red glow's gone.
One of my screensavers is all red background.
Makes him look like he's, normal him. Satan spawn.
So,
Anyways. Well, today. Whew. Okay, so. Rough week. Well, not rough in I didn't get anything done. Rough in I didn't get much done. I'm trying to reflect on it. I think the weekend was spent playing games, and I didn't really focus on what I needed to get done on the weekend. And then I know that I have a hard time doing stuff during the week.
so you played too many games and you did not. Yeah, I can relate. I know how that goes. Was this a new game, Joe?
It might have been.
I thought that didn't
talk.
happen until Monday, Joe. What happened there?
Apparently it's changed. What happened? So, I didn't get a lot done this week. I did draw. I did draw almost every day. I think I missed one day. Let me double check. My ear is so itchy. I did do some drawing, which is good. I drew every day other than Sunday, which is still good. I didn't finish page 2, but I do want to talk about my thought process last night. I just got done playing Demonologist, which it's my way of communicating with James the night before the show. The night before the show.
See, I
Yeah,
see.
so we get a
Is that
ritual
why I
circle.
dream those things?
I have to summon him, and then he's ready for the week. Anyways, after I was done playing that, I was like, okay, I have two options. It's midnight, and I was like, I could go to bed and be nice and fresh awake for the morning, or I could spend some time actually doing what I want to do, which is get some more progress done on Project Pancake. And so I spent the next 3.5 hours working on Project Pancake, and I have some stuff to show.
Oh, interesting. Before I see that stuff, so I want to kind of understand your thought process on the week because, one, did you think you had a good week? And if not, is there anything you can explain to us why you weren't able to either control yourself with your gaming or whatnot? Anything that could help people potentially? Did you notice anything like that?
Yeah, so definitely. Thanks for pointing that out because yeah, it's important that we discuss this. I I had a rough week because I had a lot of distractions and I didn't put the stuff that's important in front of the distractions. Um, I'm happy that I spent the time last night working on the actual project. But that's just a band-aid for um, what I could have actually been doing.
Mm.
So basically, my takeaway is I need to be more adamant about making sure I get meaningful progress done on the stuff that's important before I lose myself to leisure.
And that's
Even if
been a
that
common
means,
theme for us.
yeah, it has, and it's also been like something that I need to be like, hey, no, I can't play games right now. I actually need to focus on something else. Even if that means like, and that's a hard one for me, just in general, is like saying no to video games,
I can
especially
definitely
when someone
relate.
else wants to play there. And then
Yes,
during the
I hear you there.
weekdays, like work has been a lot slower, and I still didn't do anything during work other than do some light drawing.
Hmm. Did you do any painting?
Nope. No,
No.
I was gonna try to paint 2 times and I couldn't. I just I I didn't make time for it like I should have. I had a bad week,
Mm.
which is crazy because the week before I did so well.
Well, let's transition to your progress that you wanted to show.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'll also be posting this in the Discord. It's not a whole lot to look at, but it's a start for me. Nope. Wrong one. There we go. We are janky here on this stream.
Oh, I like the coloring in that. Like,
So here's the idea that it's so like back here is the warmth, and then we have like some light shining in through the bag right here, kind of like just like a dull version of it. And so obviously the shading is going to be like this. I do really like the high contrast shading. I still need to do a lot more shading and lighting, but I really do like the high contrast. My favorite part is probably like this one. I really like this one.
are you going to define his face at all, or is he upside down, or what? Because
So he's not going to have a face. I was going to think about giving him some arms, but not a face until the next page.
oh, okay. Um,
I was thinking about making him glow as well.
hmm. Well, I like the feel, the tone, the mood. It's I think you did a really good job displaying that with the colors that you chose. I like what you've got so far.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe you might want to consider maybe putting some indentations to like where maybe eyes could be, mouth could be, instead of just straight nothing. Um, that way, maybe we start because when you first showed me that picture, I didn't even notice I thought that was like a piece of ham or something. I didn't even think about it being,
Mm.
so I didn't even understand that the pancake was even in that picture until you started talking about it. So
Hmm.
you may want to consider something.
Okay. I also did something else that I've never done before. With this text, what I
Hmm.
did was like I had originally. Let me see if I can.
You transparencied it a little bit.
I cheated a whole bunch. So originally, where is my other stuff? Doodah. Okay. So originally, I had drawn these lines, and I had done some writing, some like text of
Hmm.
myself.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, I know how to do it because clearly this work would work fine,
Hmm.
but it just wasn't fun.
Hmm.
And so I decided that I will use tools as long as, like, because it'll, like, speeding up the process because it would have taken me forever to do this
Right.
for these. And even if I go over and just, like paint behind them and do my own thing, like, it'll speed up the process. Like, it's not that I don't know how to do it because, I mean, to me, this makes sense. It's speeding up the process that's not fun for me.
Nice. Well,
And
good job. As
so,
long as you're making sure you're not using a font that is copyrighted.
uh, I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess we'll
Well,
have to check.
I could just ask Heather. She'll just know looking at it.
Awesome.
She's probably got 10,000 fonts,
All right. So,
literally.
anyways, so I got that done. I did a little adjusting and stuff, and so it was nice being able to get that done. And I was going to say something else. I lost it. But yeah,
Looks
I'm.
good. I like it.
Well, thank you, James. I appreciate that. So this is a like boring, boring version, and then
So, how much of that did you work on? Like, what did you?
last night. So last night I got the texts going. This thing here, the orange juice, the flower thing, and then I just did a base background color, and then this painting.
I especially like those tones right there. Really
I do
nice.
too. I think they're really nice. I think it's a good matchup with our.
Yeah.
And again, I'll be showing the picture of this in the Discord and on our Patreon. For those of you who are listening.
So, did you do that the end of your night, or did you do that in the middle? Like, how did that work? It was the last day that maybe the accountability aspect of that played a part in why you actually worked on it the last night.
Yeah,
Maybe
accountability
shed
was a
some
big
light on
deal.
that.
For me, it was like I didn't want to go into today like with like nothing. It felt very defeating, and part of me is like choosing your choosing your problems. Like my problems right now are I don't like my job. I don't like the work I do. It drives me batty. Um, and if one of my and I so like I want to choose my life, but it's not like I'm gonna have a problem-free life when I switch careers or whatever to becoming an artist. I'm gonna have different problems, and one of those problems is probably gonna be like, you know, making sure I get my work done. That may mean like all nighters working on projects, and so I considered this to be one of those problems, and
Hmm.
so I decided to try and tackle it at least a little bit. It's not like I didn't work this week. That's not true. I did work this week a little bit. I started trying to draw the stuff on like Saturday, but I only spent like an hour doing it. And I think maybe I don't know. I did have a breakthrough at least a little bit last night where I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna put some text in here, and have it wrap around, which I learned how to do that, which is kind of fun. But I think realizing that I should focus on making sure that I do stuff that, like, draw stuff that makes me happy to draw it. Not everything's going to make me happy to draw it, but if I'm going to hate drawing this, like, why am I going to spend the time doing this? I don't hate it, but if I'm not going to have, like, fun doing it and there's, like, a more efficient way, and as long as I know how to do it, because that's the biggest stickler for me, is I want to make sure that I can translate my skills from digital to physical, because that's important to me. Don't know why, but it is.
Well, I can see how your situation is slightly paralleling mine. I don't know if you have any like ending summaries or
Yeah. Let me
things
summarize.
about your week that you want to.
This week was rough because I did not spend the time necessary when I had time to work on my project. Our project. Because video games got in the way. I mean, that's as straightforward as I think it's going to get. It's like, it's not just like video games, but like, video games with people, which is like, the way I connect with people, most of my friends, is through video games.
Right.
And so it's, sometimes I need to say no, and sometimes I can't say no. Like there's just certain situations I just can't. And so I have to basically be planning for that type of situation where I need to be, when I have time, to actually spend it working on the stuff that's important, rather than losing myself in a mindless video game or something. I freed up a lot of my time. I need to be using it more wisely.
I think we all can relate. Whatever each person's distraction is, or they can just fill in the blank. How they connect with people, what you enjoy to do. Those are the balance, and that's kind of what my problem was this week. In a different way, though, completely different way, but the same theme. For me, it was, I tried to do too much change all at once. And that messed with my progress of actual writing.
What do you mean by you did too much all at once?
Well, I was trying to change my life with health and with chores and with like everything. All at the same time. And so it was messing with me physically because of all these things. And so at the end of it, I had journaled, I worked on a lot of stuff, but it wasn't, there was a lot of work I did on the beginning steps of being a writer. But by the end of the week, I had not written yet, which I didn't the week before either. I did journal, and I probably did about the same amount of journaling, keeping track of everything I did, my thoughts, and how that was all working. But last night, just the same as you, I actually just started writing. Felt like I wanted to go into this week with actual words. But what was nice was while I was working on being a writer, which there's a lot of organizational stuff that goes along with that. I did find a lot of stuff that I was looking for. There was in particular, the story I wanted to write in lately was, I knew I wrote something on it recently, like in the last year. And it was kind of like not a first chapter, but like a second chapter or a third chapter. But I really liked it, I thought. Mm-hmm. And so I couldn't find it anywhere. And I finally found it, like either yesterday or the day before. And because I found that, I was like, ooh, now I want to get this going on. And so I did write a little bit of like the very, very beginning of that last night. And just a few sentences before we started this today. But I'm kind of excited to work on that one. So all in all, my week, it's like all week I felt really good because I was kind of working hard at everything, but nothing went perfect. Nothing felt like I had done it to a great level at all. It just all felt like what was different was I was saying no to the video games. Mm-hmm. Mostly. There was one day where I gamed a lot. But in general, I said no, and I just kind of worked. Granted, it was on too many facets of my life at the same time, and because of that, I felt like it was hard to get everything that I should be working on. I feel like there comes a point where it's like you think you have it all together, and I've probably been on this quite a few times in our even these last 25 episodes. But I felt like, I have it mostly together. I can just do it all, and it wasn't the case. I'm not ready for that. I need to still.
What's a better approach?
Well, I think for me, it's going to be just make sure that you get a little bit of writing done, as much as you can, in your day, and try not to worry so much about pumping out a ton. Just get little bites as many times as I can each week, and just start to get that pattern going on of the actual writing. I think that's where I'm at right now, and not be looking at the result side so much, but just the pattern. I need a little bit of the pattern. And just go for that, and sprinkle in the other life things as it goes. Not to worry about changing every single facet of everything, because it's just too hard for me anyway. I mean, maybe somebody else could do it, but I wasn't able to.
I think it's all about baby steps.
Yeah. I think putting the focus where the focus needs to be.
Yeah. I think that's a good. Oof. We might have found our title. Because that I can absolutely relate to that one.
All in all, I feel pretty good about my week, though. But I want to make sure that I start to put the highlight on the work now, and less on everything else. I had I told myself to write down the points of despair and emptiness, but I never really had points of despair and emptiness, so I didn't really write those down. I had a goal of just saying how I felt about what I did, which, I give myself a thumbs up, but not necessarily a high five or anything.
Okay.
The amount of days I did, I'd have to say I need to categorize that in two different ways now because I I can't just say how many days I worked because I mean if I have to say how many days I worked, it was probably a decent chunk of days. But how much days did I write on my on actual book type stuff, and how much
Hmm.
did I work as a writer? I think I need to separate those two um, for more data for me
Hmm.
um, because I'm unsure. I don't know. Two, three, four. I can't remember. Um, my word count. Uh, it wasn't very high. I mean, total was probably in the 300s of the actual writing last night. Um, I want that to go up. And if I do focus on little chunks more often, I think that's going to go up. And to be fair, it's like I you want there to be the organization, you know. And so it really takes a while for someone like me who's been unorganized for so many years to finally get their life in order and come up with the directory system and just kind of like just know it, you know. It took a while, so
So, do you feel the directory system is keeping you from writing?
uh, no, it just is a task that is so large that it just is taking a while.
Mm.
But it's to the point now where I can write. I don't. I've found most of the things I want to find. Still missing a few chapters of something I really care about. I'll see if I can find it sometime, but it's not stopping me because it's not what I'm working on right now.
Hmm.
So I feel like I can begin to write. Um, and and I want to keep track of the amount of times where I get up, start my daily routine, and then end up writing in the morning fresh. I want to keep
Yeah.
track of how many times I do that. They'll probably correlate to the amount of times I write in general on a project, but I still want to differentiate it for myself to help me for now. So yeah, that's pretty much my goals is increase the meat of what I need to do.
Okay. All right. So let's start writing down some goals for this week. Um, I still want to draw daily. That's important to me.
And I will put my points of despair and emptiness and keep track of that if I do have them.
Yeah, I think it's good. I still want to explore that for sure. I'm happy to hear you didn't have any this week.
Yeah, so am I.
And then I want to finish page two. Gosh, it's taken me so much longer to get page two done. It's very frustrating.
And
But
I'm going to
maybe
write down.
maybe that's good. Maybe I can use that frustration to actually get something done.
Yeah, go ahead. Whatever you need to. I'm going to write down how do I feel about the week. I need to make sure I do that.
I think those should be the only two goals. I don't want to draw something else. I want finish page two to be my most important singular most important thing I get done this week. I'm so done. I'm done with it not being done. Like, because page three, we got so many pages that we need to do, and it's like I'm taking so long on this one.
Um, I'm gonna
I could
write
just
down how
always
many
spend a day and
days.
get it done.
Well, that brings it up. It's very similar to me. It's like being able to work on this project, taking the time to change your life is kind of the same thing. Even though you want to separate and be like, oh, it's just getting this done. No, it's not. It's fixing who you are, kind of, in a way. There's so many deep layers to actually choosing to do your dreams. Um, so it's all progress. Even though, I mean, from us from day one till now, like if you would have told me, hey man, you'd be getting stuff done, you'd be writing, you know, is it perfect? No. My perfect self would be like, whatever. Like, how much are you even doing? Um, but the it, as you move through these problems, we're changing to the point where eventually we're just going to be rocking and rolling. I
Right.
That's the way I feel anyway.
Yeah, I mean, compared to what I was doing, this is definitely a big step up. I just feel disappointed in myself this week. I felt like so much momentum from last week, and it didn't transfer over. But yeah, I mean, we're definitely growing.
Do you think that you have an understanding of how you're going to either say no or manage your gaming this next week?
Um, I think I want to get page 2 done this weekend. So or at least mostly done this weekend. So that way there's not a lot to do over the week. Because when I work, it's hard for me to want to work after work.
So, you as well, morning routine is going to be an important factor. Is that right?
Um, I don't know. I need to explore
Well,
that.
well, if I mean, let's be honest. When you get off work, what are your thoughts? Food and then gaming, right?
Mm-hmm. But that's a
So,
bad habit too. I mean, it's a habit.
well, it's a bad habit, but if you're unsure of how you're going to solve these problems, maybe a morning routine where you at least have that. I mean, nobody's going to be bugging you to play a game at 4 or 5 or whatever in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if they are, then I'm sorry, need to be shutting off of going invisible or something. You know, but if you can work on an hour or whatnot in the morning, if you can do that, of course, that means managing how late you go to bed as well.
Yeah, I'm not
You
too bad
know,
at that one. Last night was a exception just because I wanted to get stuff done. But typically, I go to bed about 8.
well, anyway, morning routine could help
Yeah,
plug some of these things together.
yeah, it's possible. I can definitely give it a shot. Um, and then I do want to get stuff just done this weekend, or at least a good chunk of it, so that way I don't feel like I'm stalling. I feel stalled, and I want to push past it. So I really need to just sit down and work. Because I have a lot of goals, and this thing's just like right in my way. There's no looking past it. Yeah. I think I'm just going to get this done this weekend. And that way, during the week, I can work on some other stuff that I've been putting off. That'll make me happy. That'll spark joy. Finishing page 2 feels like this like this ache in my finger where I just need to like take the time to pop it. I can do that. I can do it. I know how to do it. I'm on my way to doing it. Just get it done.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, what I'm trying to do is not necessarily create points at which I must do something, but instead create no feeling. Like, this is just a normal thing that I do. And I mean, the energy or the, upsetness or, whatever word you want to throw in there, for something that can then put that temperature up to get you cooking. It can be used in the beginning, but ultimately this has to be what you do, right? Like if this was what you did for a living, you just have to get up and you'd have to work at some point. There's no good luck getting that feeling every day, So yes, I think that use that to get to that point. But I think that's why I really want to work on just, this is who I am. This is what I do. How can I say no to what I love? And at the same time, how can I, transition into, this is what I love. This is what I'm doing. And it's just part of my life. How do I make it more of who I am? So I don't know. Take that wherever you want it. But if we're relying on ups and downs, eventually, that's going to fail. It has to just be the discipline of who we are, and just that carries us through. Like, it's what we do. That mentality.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep working on trying to get stuff done. And I'm hoping that it'll turn into just, that's what I do. I'm just going to keep working on myself. Because it just takes time.
It does.
Time and pressure and time. We're making diamonds.
Right. And I mean, I'm exactly the same boat. I mean, one week I, can have the same issues of video games, and I do. But over this period of months that we've been doing this, it is definitely apparent that if I'm to succeed, I need to really see myself as a writer, and this is what I do. And that pattern has to just be my life. And I'm slowly turning it into that. It's a slow process. Not going great. But I'm further.
Yeah. I mean, we're further along than when we started this year. Because, we started near the start of this year.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like a down week. But, I mean, I'm going to try to use that to push myself into next week. Get some good progress in. Finish page 2. Gosh, I want to finish page 2. Start working on page 3. That's going to feel good, having that extra page, double the pages underneath us.
Right. When I feel down, I always feel like eventually I come up with a theory on what to tweak for my week. You know, like what needs to change? What's the change that I need to actually implement? Um, do you
So
have that in mind?
yes, it's accomplish your goals over the weekend.
Mm.
It's get them done during the weekend, so that way the week where it's rough on you, I can just exist during the 4 days that I work. Because I don't know how I'll feel during those 4 days.
Ah, yes, that's the variable.
And
I
so
agree.
I need to get it done during the weekend, so that way I have the freedom to do just drawing, regular drawing that, you know, doesn't take it a lot out of me. Drawing actually doesn't take it a lot out of me. It's just sitting it down and doing. But yeah. So Jason had an idea, and hopefully he can comment and talk more about it. He said a game where your goals are your lives. Oh, I think he means like. Oh, okay. I remember his discussion. So we should play. He's saying that we should play a game afterwards, like where we get an X amount of lives based on how many goals we accomplished.
I don't ever die. What are you talking about?
Maybe he's got some ideas for types of games, but there's a
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing, kind of games he's talking about.
Mhm.
Um, he's talking about incentives. He's talking
Yeah,
about
he's talking about incentives.
things
Yeah,
like that.
reasons to get your goals done, excitement for it. Because I mean, yeah, it's important. Because we're what, like 25 weeks in.
Mm.
The excitement of the project and all that has definitely diminished, especially with stalling on page 2 for so long. But I'm excited to get it done. I want it. I don't. It hasn't undeterred me from wanting to complete it. Just the excitement of the project has fallen away, and so now it's down to discipline and accountability.
Yeah, I mean, changing your life, making it, earning some money, you know,
Mm-hmm.
from doing the things that you would rather be doing.
Gosh.
Maybe that's just something we haven't really talked about lately, but like, you know, making money from sales from work that you've put in that you've enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I haven't felt that. I have no idea what that's gonna feel like. I'm sure it's gonna feel great,
it
but
does.
I've been drawing for 7 years, and I think I've done one commission for $20,
Mm,
and even that felt messy.
yeah, there are some stepping stones there that you we can discuss at some point. Local things just to get you the feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and I do have that feeling because I do have that side business with my wife that we do, and we get purchases here and there, and every single one is still an up. Like I look at every single sale and think to myself, man, I'm still making money off that photo shoot that I did years
Mm-hmm.
ago. And it's exciting, and that could be the same thing.
Right.
That we're feeling on this. It doesn't really ever get old. I mean, so far it hasn't.
Right. I've been
I
working so
still,
long at this, and I just felt like, I don't know. There's part of it feels like this is it. I'm just gonna keep working at stuff, and nothing's ever gonna. There's that voice in me that says nothing's ever gonna pan out. That you're wasting your time. It's always like a voice that's in the back of my head. It's the same voice I've talked about before. The same one that's like whispering that everyone's just being nice to you. It doesn't look good. That type of stuff.
Ah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, everybody was once there. No matter how famous of an artist you were, you kind of sucked when you were little. And little is little in
Relative.
art. Yeah. It's like everyone sucked, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, that voice is going to be there. But I'm sorry, your stuff's getting better. And in my opinion, art is good when you feel there's a mood to it. There's something that makes you feel in a way. And I'm sorry, I felt like that was a good beginning that I saw today.
Thanks, James. I appreciate that.
So I did
have-
not think I was gonna feel that looking at a picture of garbage. But I liked it. So,
Well, I appreciate it.
and I'm
I
hard to
have been
please usually.
I have been internalizing a lot more of like making sure that I like it versus making sure that anybody else likes it. So I haven't showed it to anybody other than you. Well, now the stream. I'm leaning on what I think of it, and I might not show it to anybody for like criticism or review. I'm just gonna, other than yourself, because you're invested part of this project. But
Yeah.
making just sure that I like it and being happy with it, I think is what I'm gonna lean on.
Yeah, I mean, so far the one comment I made was, hey, I didn't know what I was looking at as it comes to our thing. Maybe you can think about that one.
Yeah.
But beyond that, just the general take of it, when people are going to look through this comic or whatever this really is, they're not going to be scrutinizing this each damn picture the way that we are. They're going to be glancing at it
For
and
half a second.
the readability must translate to a mood. Did you accomplish that? Yes. I think you did. I can see the transition from the first page to the second, and I like what I feel. I like what I see. So, good job.
Thanks. I'm excited for more pages. You've built some excitement. So that's cool. All right. Do I want to is there anything else you want to talk about before we close it out here?
I just want to build momentum,
Yeah.
with what I'm doing. I want next week to feel like I am more a writer than I was this last week. So, and at most, I don't want to feel like I regressed.
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel good about my week. See how that goes.
Nice. All right, dude. Any silly quips you want to?
No, I hate silly quips.
You hate the silly quips?
I hate it. I hate them. I'm a serious guy, man. When have I ever joked? Hey, remember, we are here too. If you pop on our Discord, if you leave a comment, like, we have no life. We will read them.
Oh yeah.
Just so you
Every
know.
single word.
So,
Yeah.
just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, if you've got questions, comments, concerns, if you think James's beard is getting too long, let him know.
I think it is too. I was gonna chop it off with scissors the other day.
As soon as you started playing with it and started like doing that, all I can think of is scissors.
I know. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway.
Too. Need to shave it. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching or listening and listening. Have yourself a lozenge and goodbye.
Bye.